Hi, I'm Bett Bollhoefer. This is a back-focused class. We're going to work the thoracic spine, we're going to work the lumbar spine, we're going to do a lot of shoulder work, including eagle pose. Optionally for this class, you can have 2 blocks and a strap, and definitely a yoga blanket. You can for sure, if you have one, a bolster or a pillow. So let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seated pose. And let's start off by looking around and just getting into our senses. So you can look around your environment. Just notice if there's anything interesting going on. It's really, sometimes when we get worried about something, we start narrowing our senses. So it's really important to open up the senses. So actually, let's take our hands next to our face and look forward, and then bring the hands forward and back to widen our perception. So when we get nervous or worried or anxious, sometimes our focus gets very narrow. So this is a great exercise to widen the perspective. So find where your hands disappear and then play with that little line back and forth. And start taking some longer, slower, deeper breaths through the nose. And then let's bring our hands above and below. So going forward and back. And notice if your bottom hand or your top hand, which one disappears first. So trying to keep them on a straight path. All right, now let's rub our hands. Make little cups. And place them over your eyes. So don't squish the eyeball. And let's do a little eye exercise. So we're going to inhale our eyes to the right. Exhale the eyes to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. And keep going back and forth. So this is a great way to connect your right brain and your left brain. They actually employ this in a therapy called EMDR. All right, one more. And now let's look up and down, inhaling up and exhaling down. And don't move the head, just the eyes. All right, one more. And let's do circles clockwise with our eyes. Don't move your head. And then counterclockwise. And now let's just gaze into the darkness of our palms. So seal up any light leaks. Make sure everything's really dark. All right, and then softly open the eyes and bring your hands down. Then let's go ahead and just close our eyes again and feel to our emotional state. Notice what your emotional state is right now. And then notice your thought patterns. If there's anything going on in your brain today. And let's set an intention for our practice. Bring the hands together. We'll start with an Om. Inhale. Om. Awesome. Softly open the eyes. Lay down and work on our back. So if you want to use your pillow, your blanket behind your head, make sure you have some space over top. We can bring our arms overhead. So we're going to lay down and try to work out some knots. So we're going to start with our knees bent, and you can put your arms wherever you want to in your belly, by your side. And we're just going to rock the knees back and forth. So take the feet as wide as the mat. So inhaling to the right, exhale to the left. We're just going to start off with a little rock, just 1 inch. So we're starting with our bottom of our spine, our sacrum, and the glutes. Just loosening up. Let's go 2 inches in each direction. Notice if there's anything in there, in that region that's tight. Let's go 3 inches in each direction. And now go ahead and drop your knees all the way over to each side. And now let's lift the hips. So when you drop your knees over to the right, lift the left hip up by pressing to the left foot, and then drop it, and then flip the knees over to the left, lifting up the right hip with the right foot. So just keep going back and forth in this little arch, just a little tiny arch. And inhale as you lift. So now we're loosening up all the way up our spine into the shoulder blades. All right. Let's go ahead and stretch the legs out. You can windshield wiper the feet. And then now we're going to take our arms up. So reaching towards the ceiling. We're going to do something similar with our arms. We're going to reach our right hand up into the sky through the fingers, stretching through the fingers. The arm is very straight. And then we're going to exhale that down. Inhale the left arm up, reaching to the sky. The fingers are straight, elbow. So we're just going to go back and forth, lifting through the shoulder blade. Inhaling up, exhale down. Make sure your palms are facing each other. All right, one more on each side. All right, drop the hands, rest for a moment. So we're gonna grab a bolster or a pillow or whatever you have nearby. If you have a pillow, you can grab it. And we're going to bring it underneath our shoulder blades, right under, like right at the bottom of our shoulder blades. Okay. So what we're doing is we're making a little separation between the upper back and the lower back. We're taking our hands behind the head and we're going to do little thoracic sit-ups. So inhaling up, exhale down. So this is building range of motion in our thoracic spine. You can take your eyes and look over the back of your head when you come down to make the range of motion movement even bigger. So this is also working our cervical spine. All right, just one more. And now we're going to lift our hips up and do a little bridge with this in our back. So lifting the hips, exhale down. So we're isolating different parts of the spine. Now we're doing our lumbar. All right, one more. And then let's just lay on this and stretch your arms out in a big T shape. So we're giving a little bit of arch into our back. Okay, one more breath. And then we're going to take our hands behind our head again. You can either leave your legs straight or you can bend them, whatever feels more comfortable. And then we're going to lift one elbow up. So let's start with the right, lifting the one elbow up towards the ceiling. And then exhale down, inhale the left. So now we're doing a little bit of a twist. You can even sort of reach a little bit across your body with the elbow if that feels okay. All right, one more on each side. And now we're going to take the pillow out, the bolster out from underneath our back. We're going to come back to lay down. Now we're going to bring some of these motions together. So we're going to bring our right elbow and our left knee up to touch. And then you can bring the right knee up to the left. So options with the legs, you can either keep the legs in a 90-degree angle, or you can stretch the foot out, bringing the foot next to the ground. All right. So that's going to make it way more challenging for the legs and the core. So let's inhale when we bring the knee to the knee, or the elbow to the knee, and then exhale when we come apart. All right, one more each side. And then when you finish, go ahead and just rest. Let your heart slow down. All right, we're gonna come and sit up, and we're gonna do a little movement. Do you remember when you go to the airport and you have to hold your hands like this? We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna bring the hands behind us like this. All right? So let me show you from behind. So it's like this, this. Let's inhale the arms up, exhale the hands down. So this is full range of motion on the shoulders. Can release any tension. Get a good stretch. All right, let's just do one more. Okay, so this next one we're gonna do is another shoulder, because a lot of back pain and problems come from the elbows or the shoulders, triceps, just the arms being tight. So you can use a table or a block. Basically, let me just show you what it looks like, and then you can figure out what's the best thing. But you're gonna take your hands into prayer pose and put your elbows on top of a hard surface. Walk your body backwards. You can even do this standing, and let your head drop in between the biceps so that you're getting a nice stretch. So your legs, you could be standing, you could be kneeling, whatever feels comfortable with the legs. You're really just trying to get a nice stretch and let your head drop between the biceps. All right? So once you come in here, we're going to be here for a minute. Just resting. So bring your hands, yep, perfect, okay. All right, one more breath. And then we're going to come down and lay on our stomach. All right. So if you want to take your blanket, you can roll it up and put it under your forehead. That way you can breathe still, even though you're laying on your belly. So just take a look at me before you lay down fully so you can just see. So what we're doing is similar to what we just did with our arms, right, and on our sacrum. And then we're going to reach the arms out straight, reaching forward. So my elbows are completely straight overhead, reaching to the fingers, and then bringing the arms back over the sacrum. At the same time, we're going to be lifting the legs. So one at a time, lifting the right or the left, or if you are very strong and brave, you can lift both legs at the same time. Otherwise, you can just lift one at a time. Whichever one you want. All right. So it's kind of a weird swimming pose. Inhaling the arms up, and the legs up. Exhaling back. All right, last one. And then just put your arms wherever feels comfortable, and we'll just rest for a moment. You can shake out the hips. All right, we're going to come up into a sphinx, so you can move your blanket out of the way. So a sphinx pose, we have our arms in railroad tracks on our forearms. And let's start off by just looking down. We'll do 5 deep breaths. So press the toenails and the pubic bone into the ground to release any tension on the lower back. Tighten your lower belly. Just looking down right now. And 5. And then make a little pillow with your hands. Let's shake out our hips. And then we're going to come back up into the railroad tracks with our forearms. And this time we're going to look up. So stretching through the collarbones, looking up at the ceiling. We'll do 5 deep breaths looking up. Make sure you're pressing your toenails and the pubic bone into the ground. And 5. Again, come on down. Make a little pillow with your hands. Shake out your hips. Rest. And now we're going to do one more. So to bring your hands into railroad tracks, but this time, if you feel like you can do this, pressing to the toenails, the pubic bone, and then we're going to press up, straining the elbows and looking up. If this hurts your lower back, really engage the lower belly or come down. Two more breaths. And 5. Come all the way down. Make a little pillow. Shake out your hips. Great. We're going to come on up into a neutral table. And then we're going to take the right leg back and push through the heel. So the leg is straight and push through the heel, stretching out the hamstring. So a lot of lower back pain or back pain in general can come from tight hamstrings. So you can also rotate the heel back and forth, loosening the flesh around the hip. And then go ahead and bring it back and push through. Just keeping it leg straight and still and pushing through the heel. So don't go too much that you're pulling and tearing your hamstring. Just do enough where you feel a nice stretch. You can always overdo stretching. All right, one more breath. Let's bring that right leg in, stretch the left leg out, pressing through the heel. And let's just shake it out a little bit, rocking the heel back and forth, loosening anything up. And then go ahead and press through the heel again. See if you got any more space. Notice if your hamstrings are opening slowly as you do this. All right, one more breath. And then bring the left heel, the left knee next to the right. We're going to do a little thread the needle pose. So taking our right hand up into the sky, looking at the hand. That's an inhale. Exhale, the right hand all the way through underneath the left armpit and stretch out. Touch your right side of your face towards the ground and then inhale back up. So we're going to do a little flow, reaching the arm up into the sky just on the right side, and then exhale, thread the needle coming all the way through. So keep going at your own pace. Inhaling up, exhale down. All right, last one. And then when you come into thread the needle, let's just stay here for 5 deep breaths. So with the left hand, if you want to, you can bring the hand around and do a little bind. So you can grab your right inner thigh. So bringing the left hand over your body, stretching it up into the sky. Yep, and then drop it behind your back. There you go. So you're just getting a little bit more of a twist and opening. 2 more breaths. And 5. And then come back into your neutral table. You can shake out your hips a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. So now reaching the left arm up into the sky, looking at your hand the whole way up. And then exhale, bring the left hand through underneath your right armpit. Reaching through, touching the left side of the head to the ground, looking up. And then inhale the arm back up. All right. On your next one, when you get all the way down to the bottom, we're going to stay for 5 deep breaths. Remember, you can have the option for the bind, so taking your right arm up into the sky, dropping it over your back. And let's do 5 deep breaths here. And 5. And your next inhale, come on up. All right. So we're going to come up to stand. And so if you have a belt, you can use this. You could also use a blanket if you want to grab on, but you may not even need that. So let me just show you what it looks like. So with a belt, we would take our hands on the belt like this and look up. Okay, that's with a belt. If without a belt, you can interlace your fingers, keep your elbows straight, stretching through the collarbones and looking up. Okay? So if you don't have a belt, you can do this part. All right, so looking up. Let's do deep breaths, stretching through the collarbones. Two more deep breaths. All right, we're gonna now bend over. We can deeply bend the knees, taking the arms overhead. If this feels like too much on your wrists, you could grab one wrist with your hand or again, using a belt. All right, let's do 10 deep breaths. You can bend the knees deeply if you want to and lay your chest on the thighs. Really dropping the hands over the head. All right, this is our 9th breath. And one more. And then come on up slowly. Don't get a brain rush. All right, we're gonna stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Just softly close the eyes and feel your body changing to this new orientation. All right, softly open the eyes. So we've been really working the shoulders and the hips also. So we're gonna do something that brings everything together and works on our balance, and that's called eagle pose. So eagle pose is a balance pose. So what we're gonna do is let's come onto the right foot first, and then wrap the left leg around the right. So either touching the toes onto the ground, or if you can wrap the toes all the way around the thigh or the calf, go ahead. Then stretch the arms out, and then we're gonna bring the left arm across the body, capture it with the right, then bring the hands together. Then we're gonna sink down into the legs, pressing the forearms together and lifting the elbows up as high as possible. So it's like we're in a big pretzel. But we're gonna hold for a whole minute. We're breathing through the nose, for balancing. If you want to make this harder, you could close the eyes. It's very hard. Can you sink down a little further? Can you lift the elbows a little further and pressing the hands away from your face? All right, we're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and fly, my baby eagles. Fly, fly, fly. Come on out. Shake it out. Let's do big circles with the arms. Whew. Shake out the legs. Okay. We're gonna now do the other side. Okay, so bringing the weight onto the left foot. Wrap the right leg around. Take the right arm across the body. Capture it with the left. Bring the hands together. Lift the elbows up. Press the hands away and sink down into the foot. All right, we're gonna stay for a whole minute. Again, the option here is to close your eyes if you really want to challenge yourself. Sinking down, lifting the elbows up, hands away. The more you shake, the more you're moving muscle, you're changing your muscle, activating. All right, 3, 2, 1, and fly. Oh my gosh, fly, fly. Whoo! Yeah, that's a hard one. All right, shaking the arms. Whew. All right, so because we're doing more of a restorative, I know so far it's really been a challenging class. We're gonna now do a nice forward fold. So bring the legs out nice and wide. Bring the body down. So if you have pillows or blocks or blankets, you can actually make a little pile with them and put your forearms on them. That way your head can drop and rest. And you can really just let your whole body relax here. So this is a little bit of an inversion. Inversions are great for calming your sympathetic nervous system down, moving you into your parasympathetic. All right, one more breath. And then we're going to heel toe the feet in and then come on down and we will do a seated twist. So bringing the legs out in front of you. We're going to take the right foot, bring it by the left hip, bend the left foot in, bring it by the right. We're going to be turning towards the right. So hook the left elbow onto the right knee, turn towards the right. With each inhale, deepen the twist, and each exhale, loosen. Make sure your spine is nice and tall, the head going towards the ceiling. All right, on the next breath, we're going to hold for 5 seconds at the top of the breath. And then exhale all the air out. We're going to unfurl, bring the arms and the legs, shake them out. And then we're going to take the left heel next to the right hip and the right heel next to the left. Turning towards the left, hook the right elbow, reaching your head towards the sky. And now let's turn to the left, inhaling to deepen. Exhale to loosen just a tiny little bit. On your next inhale, hold for 5 seconds at the top of the breath. And exhale, come on and untwist. All right, and then shake it out. All right, we're gonna do a nice little shavasana. So make yourself warm. If you want to pull on a pair of socks or sweatshirt, go ahead, pull. Make sure you're comfy. If you want to put a pillow underneath your head and or also underneath your knees, it feels really nice to have a little bolster underneath your knees. And if you want to cover up with a blanket, Shavasana is really important. It's a very important part of yoga, and it lets us integrate all the work we just did. So come on down and rest. And as you rest, I'm going to read you a little reading from Pema Chodron. So Pema Chodron is a monk. I think that's what they call her. She's a Buddhist nun. Nun. And this one is called We Start with Ourselves. In cultivating loving kindness, we train ourselves first to be honest, loving, and compassionate towards ourselves. Rather than nurturing self-denigration, we begin to cultivate a clear-seeing kindness. Sometimes we feel good and strong. Sometimes we feel inadequate and weak. But our loving kindness is unconditional. No matter how we feel, we can aspire to be happy. we can learn to act and think in ways that sow seeds of our future well-being, gradually becoming more aware of what causes happiness as well as what causes distress. Without loving kindness for ourselves, it is difficult, if not impossible, to genuinely feel it for others. I'm going to read the whole thing one more time. We start with ourselves by Pema Chodron. In cultivating loving kindness, we train first to be honest, loving, and compassionate towards ourselves. Rather than nurturing self-denigration, we begin to cultivate a clear-seeing kindness. Sometimes we feel good and strong. Sometimes we feel inadequate and weak. But our loving kindness is unconditional. No matter how we feel, we can aspire to be happy. We can learn to act and think in ways that sow seeds for our future well-being, gradually becoming more aware of what causes happiness as well as what causes distress. Without loving kindness for ourselves, it is difficult, if not impossible, to genuinely feel it for others. So just continue to rest. All right, start to deepen your breath. Let's do 2-part inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Sigh it out. And then let's stretch the hands overhead. And then stretch through the legs. And roll over on our side. Being grateful we took the time today for some self-care. Whenever you have a hard day, you gotta add a little extra self-care in. And then when you're ready, you can push yourself up. We'll come and meet in a seated pose and check in with the aftermath of the work. So let's bring our hands together and close our eyes and just check in with our emotional state and our mental patterns and see if there's any shift in either. And then let's go ahead and remember our intention. And then we'll finish with an Om. Inhale. Om. And may the benefits of this practice benefit you and everyone you meet. Namaste. I'm Bett Bollhoefer. If you enjoyed this class, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing with a friend. That really helps my channel.